Yeah, let's talk about this DQ actually for a bit. I think you were probably referring to Michael Schär of AG2R Citröen. He was having a rough day out, had a mechanical, was chasing back to the group, and he had a empty water bottle, saw fans on the side of the road, and threw his water bottle to the fans. The UCI, under the new rules that have been implemented on April 1st, of course, among these April 1st new regulations are you can't do the super tuck, you can't ride with your forearms on the handlebars. You also, they are cracking down on littering. You cannot throw bottles on the roadside except in designated zones. Michael Schär got disqualified for tossing his bottle to the fans, and this has gotten a lot of backlash from riders, especially. The commentators did not particularly like it. They were a little bit flabbergasted when the ruling came over race radio during the race.
Hearing a rumbling on the radio, Michael Schär's days just got worse. He's been a victim of the new UCI rules. You're not allowed to throw your bidons anymore. And Michael Schär has been disqualified from the Ronde van Vlaanderen for throwing his bidon.
Well, I'm not going to argue with the commissaire, but where he dropped it was in a place at the feet of the spectators. That's really, really interesting. I know he seemed frustrated, didn't he? But the way he did it was like he actually. Oh, that's well. There you go. I mean, that is fascinating, Rob.
Michael Schär, he put out a statement on social media saying that he thinks it is just completely counter to the spirit of the sport. Of course, if you are in Europe, that is. It is very, very typical for riders to throw water bottles on the side of the road to fans, and fans absolutely love it. Unlike in America, it's a completely cultural difference in America. This is a bit of a tangent, but if you throw a water bottle on the side of the road to fans in America, unless you're at a really big race like the Tour of California, they're like, why are you throwing me that junk? But in Europe, they absolutely love it. It is a prized souvenir. And riders are not happy about that being taken away from them, their ability to go inspire kids on the side of the road and just give souvenirs to fans of all ages.
Well, and I asked his teammate Greg Van Avermaet about that after the race, and remember, Greg got his name after Greg LeMond, of course, a family that loves cycling, and he was there on the side of the road as a kid, and he was getting those bottles as well, and he said, you know, it's a part of the sport, it's a part of cycling, but I have to say, Michael, these guys know the rules, and if there's any race that's more televised and on camera, we see the camera so often in the DS cars. The Flanders Classics do such a great race, a great production to put this race out and show every angle. Well, this race is always on. It's got cameras everywhere, and you shouldn't be littering, especially in this race. And I think, unfortunately, the UCI has to make this rule, and it has to be black and white in order for them to enforce it. So it's probably not going to be a good opinion out there with our fans, but I'm going to have to agree here with the UCI on this one.
Really? I was not expecting that from you, Gregor.
I mean, because we have to have the non-littering rules, and it has to be black and white, and the riders should know about this.
That is what cycling always struggles with, is the rules are very rarely black and white. But and this is a perfect example. We saw Mathieu van der Poel toss a water bottle with 1K to go, and then Casper Asgreen tossed a water bottle with 1K to go. No fans on the side of the road there. They didn't get disqualified. So what you're telling me is black and white, first and second place should have been DQ'd.
Well, yeah, it's inconsistent, and that's the same way when you're out there in your car and you're speeding. It's against the law, but some people get caught, some don't. We also saw, I think there's footage of Annemiek van Vleuten tossing a bottle as well. So I don't know. It's a confusing world that we live in, Michael, but we do have these rules out there.
We have these rules out there, and sometimes they result in people being disqualified unless those people are the winners. I think that is the takeaway from the Tour of Flanders on that.